Okay, we're back with lesson 4.2, and this is video 4, the last set of videos. We're still talking about rate of change, and this time we're going to talk about rate of change from tables or scenarios. So let's look at the first one. It's a table, and it asks us to find the average rate of change from the interval x is equal to 6 to x is equal to 2. So if we look at that, let's first circle where we're talking about. We're talking about x is equal to 6. And then that is the ordered pair, 6, 35. And then where x is equal to 2, well, that's the ordered pair, 2, 3. Now we're going to find the rate of change. So we look at our slope formula, or our rate of change, and is the y2 minus y1, and the x2 minus x1. So we have 3 minus 35 over 2 minus 6, and when we calculate that, we would get negative 32 over negative 4, which is equal to a positive 8. And you can definitely see here from these two values that it is definitely going up right here. So in between those two, it should have a positive rate of change, and it does. So our rate of change is 6. Now, let's go ahead and look at the next example that we have. Okay, so right here in example number 5, we're going to be looking at a scenario where we are asked to compare two different movie theaters, and we want to look at which one would be better for us. Should we go to Regal or should we go to Habersham? So it told us a little bit about Habersham. It said Habersham charges $7 for the movie ticket and $5 per food item. But Regal, they didn't give us this type of information. They just gave us a table over here. And they want us to compare the rates of change and the initial cost. So for Habersham Hills, if we're looking at it, it gave us the wording up here, and so it kind of makes it a little bit easier to talk about and figure it out. Our cost, and that's the output, the cost, it is $7. I have to pay $7 to get in, but then I also, if I want some food items, I have to pay $5 for every food item that I buy. So that would be 5x. So for Habersham Hills, the initial cost is $7. That's the initial cost right there, the y-intercept. Okay, that's the initial cost. Again, I apologize for my handwriting. The initial cost. And then the rate of change is the m value, the coefficient in front of x, so the rate of change on this one is $5. So it's $5 per item. Now for Regal, it doesn't give me that information like that. We have to actually figure those things out. So we go over here, and it's probably easiest to find our rate of change first. When I've got a table, you can kind of see the prices are going up every time I buy a food item. So how much is it going up? Well, every time I buy one food item, it goes up $4. Every single time. So if I'm looking at that, then its average rate of change on this one is $4 per item. And then, well, what was its initial cost? What was the initial cost on this one? Well, that would be what the ticket was. Okay, the initial cost would be how much I spent before I bought any food items. Well, that would be where the y value is 0. Okay, the y-intercept is where where y is equal to 0. The y-intercept is where x is equal to 0. So the initial cost was $8 for the initial ticket. So if I wanted to write my equation for this one, it would be y is equal to the $8 plus $4 per food item. Now, which theater is going to be the cheaper if you want to see the movie and also get a drink and a popcorn? That means I'm going to get 2 items. So at Regal's, that would cost me $16 over here. Okay, so that would get in $8 plus 2 times 4 would be 8, so that would be $16, and you can see it on your table of values over here. So for Habersham Hills, we're going to actually have to calculate that. I'm going to buy 2 food items, and remember X is the number of items that I'm going to buy. Okay, so I want to buy 2 items, and they're $5 a piece. So for them, I would have 10 plus 7, which would be $17. So if I want to get a drink and a popcorn, then I should go to Regal's because it's $1 cheaper. Okay. All right, I think you have 2 for you to try. We've got one here where you've got a table. Be careful as you look out through with your table right there and make sure that you're paying attention over the rate of change. It's going to ask you to find the rate of change from 2010 to 2015, and then from 1995 to 2005. So compare those rates of change and answer the questions about those. And then on the one below, it just gives you a table and it asks you to find the rate of change for each one of those. Okay, I'll pause and you take a few minutes and answer those questions and check your U-Try answers.